They charged me with resisting arrest.
Get that confidence in jail.
I object.
Good morning, fellow patriots, and welcome to another episode of Allegedly Bravo, a podcast about all things Bravo crime, allegedly. I'm Cash.
And I'm Lauren. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fabulous. You know, I'm still in that 250 square foot loft. It is 108 degrees outside, and our AC is now turned into a swamp cooler. So I am currently schwitzing my ass off.
Oh my God. With the two dogs and everything.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I just have one comment.
Oh God.
The hair's looking really pink.
Okay.
Where are we at mentally?
The hair is really pink. Well, we're in a good place. You know, just it's so hard sometimes to just like be a person out in the world. And just this whole last week, I was at a funeral and a memorial service for a really good family friend that, you know, made the decision to end his life. And I just wanted to say to everybody, like, if you're ever in a place where you feel like you can't do it anymore, anything, like, it's the hardest one move you'll have to make is to ask someone for help. It's the hardest decision you'll ever make, but like it could save your life and it would probably mean a lot to everybody and really help you out.
And more often than not, you're going to get a constant flow of support from everybody around you. I think COVID in particular has put a huge burden on people. Suicide rates have skyrocketed. I know, I would say 4 or 5 people around me who have committed suicide this year, and many of whom never would have expected. And, you know, like Lauren said, if you're struggling, reach out, you know, and if you have no one to talk to, feel free to email us at allegedlybravo@gmail.com.
Like literally,
we're here to listen. I mean, we both have our own.
Oh, for sure. I mean, besides the fact that my hair's hot pink right now, I was actually like I have a Peloton, which was like the biggest investment I've ever made right before I decided no longer to be employed, which was not a good decision. And it's been like collecting dust in the dining room workout area because I've just been like in one of those slumps where you just like can't get out of it. So I'm like laying in bed today and I was like thinking like, I have to get on that bike. Like I have to just break the spell. It's like so hard. And I get an email and it's from Peloton and they go, bitches. I was like touched. Hi, Lauren. I noticed it's been a while since you've taken a class and I wanted to see if all was going well with your Peloton experience. I want to make sure you're getting the most out of your membership. If there's any way we can improve your experience, simply reply to this email and let us know how we can help. Best, Brad.
All I can say is you're not a Peloton owner if you have not received that email.
Well, I received the email and I go, oh my God, someone's checking in. So of course I reply and I go, everything was fine. It was just a bout of depression. Thanks for checking in. And then they replied. And the girl was like, hello, Lauren. We hope this email finds you well. We're glad to hear things are going well. And we hope you're doing well also. Take all the time you need to make sure you're doing okay as well.
Oh my gosh, it was a personalized message?
It was a personalized message. Yeah. Thank you for being a part of our Peloton community. And then the rest of the like normal stuff. But yeah, it was a personalized message.
I'm shocked. That is really cool because I thought you were going to respond and get those do not reply. Like it's a do not reply.
Right. And I know I was like thinking that I was shouting into the void, like, it's fine. You know, like,
and then Brad was there.
And then after Brad, Megan was there. Megian.
Wow.
Megan. Thank you so much, Megan, for your kind words. And I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so we're on an upward swing. Still haven't made it onto the Peloton, but I'm in a really good mood today.
You know what? I feel you on that. And I don't know if it's the long weekend, but I woke up today at 5 a.m. to work.
Oh.
But I woke up feeling very good because yesterday evening around 6:55 p.m., I made the conscious decision to engage in a juice cleanse.
I could not freaking believe that you did that. I'm sorry.
I will say, okay, so it's like an 80-20. 20% of the reason why was for health. 80% was because it's so fucking hot in this loft. I can't cook.
Yeah.
And the only thing that sounds good is something cold.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I mean, it's really like a full detox because I'm technically in a sauna.
Right. That's so true. And did you bring any masks like for your face?
No, but I could order some online.
I think you should, because I mean, if you're in a sauna, like the only thing you're missing is some like sheet mask vibe.
Like a eucalyptus mask.
Yeah.
I'll get one of those eucalyptus branches and hook it to my mic.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's a vibe.
Oh my gosh. And then smoke a little doobie.
Oh my gosh. Which brings us to, should we tell them about our secret project? I
think we should tell them about our secret project. You guys, I'm so
excited. That's okay. You can't talk. You're on a juice cleanse. I can't talk because I'm on a lot of weed right now.
So you guys, our secret project is we are going to release episodes weekly about Below Deck, and we are going to call it High Seas. And Lauren and I will be getting a little high while watching Below Deck and, you know, giving our insights, trash talking,
and just recapping it. Yeah. Just really living our best life and allowing you the pleasure of being a part of it.
I mean, after Lauren told me that there was like an alleged herpes outbreak or herpes scare.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like an STD to just get a girl on board.
Okay. And it was like a herpes scare that turned out to be a simple chafe.
Wow. Talk about defamation.
I mean, I know. And the girl went around and told the whole entire boat. Like, it was nuts. But God, I love that show. I can't wait to talk about it with you.
I can't wait to talk about it either. And, you know, just start dabbling back in the marijuana, because I was off that for a minute because I was working, you know, as a prosecutor. Yeah. And it wasn't our employee handbook, but I know, lame, but I'm excited. And so what that means is the smallest little amount is going to get me high.
Yay. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited.
TBD on when it's going to be released. We haven't really figured out a date. So, but look out for it. I'm sure we'll be here next week.
We'll have to, like, honestly, you guys, this secret project has been in the works for like 2 hours now. So like, we really don't have a lot of information.
It's a concept, and it is also another one of our passion projects.
Exactly. Oh my
Will
God.
Our parents be ashamed and embarrassed by us?
Probably.
Yes. All right. So now that we got our secret project out of the way, what are we talking about today?
I love a socialite. So of course we're talking about Tinsley Mortimer.
Our girl Tins. And you know what? I think it's our generation, because we grew up with Gossip Girl. We grew up with magazines and just idolizing and being obsessed with these beautiful women that were in these magazines that were like, the amount of wealth was unattainable.
Exactly. At least it felt like that.
It was.
It was.
And sorry.
No,
I'm just going to say something.
Yeah.
I think people are going to do a complete 180 on Tinsley after this podcast, and you are going to be shook to your core about what we're about to talk about. I was appalled at some of the things that I read, and I will just say it now. Justice for Tinsley.
Justice for Tinsley.
Okay, so I feel like the only way to start off with Tins is to give us a little background about where she came from, who she was.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Tinsley Randolph Mercer. What do you think? Do you think it's French?
Mercer sounds like that skin disease, you know, like staph infection.
MRSA.
Yeah. So
I'll go Mercer.
Okay.
Tinsley Randolph Mercer was born August 11th, 1975, and she is a Leo. Okay. Her parents are George Riley Mercer Jr., a real estate investor, and her mother is Dale Tatum Mercer. One thing I love about this family is the use of 3 names.
Oh.
It's so incredible that they have these three names that are three huge names, like Tinsley, Randolph, Mercer.
It's so Southern, so bougie, so waspy.
So waspy. Okay, so Dale is an interior designer and a socialite by trade.
Is she though?
Well, actually, she's worth over $100 million.
Okay, but is that from her interior design business or from family wealth?
Family wealth.
Okay.
I think unfortunately, generational wealth is at the basis of this entire thing because that's the only way these people have anything.
And it's really the only thing that they all have in common.
It's true. So Dale, this is a fun fact about Dale. She has her master's degree from Harvard Extension School. I know.
I take it back.
I know. So she got her bachelor's from Meredith College and then a master's from Harvard Extension School. I forget what it was in.
But I will say when you add extension school to the end, it kind of lessens the degree. It almost sounds like one of those degrees you get when you are 16 and pregnant and you go to the modules across from the high school.
Oh my God. I fucking can't handle you. My question about Harvard Extension School is I was under the impression that extension schools were just like when they ran out of room on campus. So they had to like open up an office building, but it was a school.
Yeah, it's like the same thing that we're.
Well, kind of. Whatever, Dale, and your generational wealth and your fake Harvard degree.
You're thinking of like a satellite campus.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
An honorary.
It's a prestigious one.
I'm sure she worked for it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then she has a little sister named Dabney Winston Mercier.
Spell it.
Dabney. Dabney Winston Mercer. These are my kids, Tinsley and Dabney.
I'm at a loss for words by the names. I mean, who am I to talk? But wow.
I just love these middle names, Randolph and Winston.
Okay, so where are they? Did you say where they were from?
So they're from this place called Richmond, Virginia, and they're considered one of the first. Oh, is that like a famous place?
It's a huge city. Oh. She's from this small town called Los Angeles, California.
Stop. Is it really well known? I never heard of it. I never heard of it before. Richmond, Virginia. Okay.
Oh my God. You're so pretty. Okay.
Okay. So Tinsley's mom and dad, Dale and George, both like really pride themselves on being the first families of Virginia, meaning they like settled here and then like populated it, I guess. So cool. They were like from Virginia really hard, which is great for them.
Cool.
George, I know it's like
cool. You're white.
Okay, yeah, great for you. You're from Virginia, this place some of us have never even heard about. So George, colonizers of Virginia.
I
don't know. It feels weird to be proud of that.
It feels not right.
Yeah. Okay, so his dad, like the dad's dad, so Tinsley's grandpa, they come from like rug cleaner money because they founded this like Mercer rug. No, I guess it was like really prestigious. I can't. He started a company called
no one said prestigious rug company unless it's Jill Zarin rugs.
See?
Which one's more popular?
I don't know, but this one sold in 2011 for $1.265 million.
Okay.
So that's some rugs. 1.265.
That's it?
I know. Okay, so yes, that's it. This is where I get the weird. So I think that the money comes in on some weird issue. I mean, not weird issue. I think the money comes in from Tinsley's dad's actual employment with like this real estate investment firm and stuff, because it's like one does not inherit like $1.265 million and become a socialite. Like, no offense, but that's not that much money
from a rug company. But the thing is I bet it's all trust fund money that's just been reinvested.
Oh,
and
totally.
Yeah. It's just
Because
all
that's that old money. You just need a little and then it can grow.
What did Shep from Southern Charm call it? Mailbox check or mailbox money or something, where you don't have to work and your checks just come in the mail and that's what you live off of.
Wow.
Yeah. As
C'est
I'm
la
sweating.
vie. Yeah.
I'm sweating in my sports bra because I am too lazy and too poor to call the AC.
And I'm actively listening to my rabbit tear apart my security deposit by tearing the carpet out. Great.
One thread at a time.
One thread at a time. Okay. So Tinsley grew up at this estate called Graymont. And apparently it's like some very, I don't know. Have you heard of it? Graymont Estate?
I'm assuming it's a plantation of sorts.
It feels like a plantation of sorts. It was built by a tobacco guy, and that just screams plantation to me. But apparently these people are just like all into bragging about that. So I looked it up on Zillow because I was like, what does a disgraced property go for in times like these? $3 million.
The house is worth more than the rug company. Wow.
Right. But also it's like, so yeah, it's just like so crazy to think that like $3 million, it doesn't feel like a lot of money to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe they live within their means and they live to a certain standard and then they just have exorbitant amounts of wealth. Because when Tinsley lived in New York City, wasn't her rent like $25,000 at that hotel? Something absurd.
Oh, well, we'll get into how Tinsley makes money because I'm shocked. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So anyway, her mom's worth $100 million. Unclear how that came to be. Sorry, not too sure. But Tinsley started at a private all-girls school, and then she moved to for like high school time to this boarding school called Lawrenceville School in Mercer County, New Jersey. And I was like, is that a connection? And then I tried to do like this pathway through Wikipedia of like connecting the Mercers. But then I also was like, I'm just going to assume, because
if I do recall, her family has ties to like Thomas Jefferson and all these presidents. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some branch or lineage that broke off that then colonized some area that owned a county that named it after some family member. So I wouldn't be surprised.
So I think that the Mercer County might possibly be named after them. But anyway, Lawrenceville School notable alum include congressmen, judges, senators, governors, as well as Huey Lewis, the musician, and Dierks Bentley.
Wow.
Okay.
But no one is more important than our gal Tins.
No one's more important than our girl Tinsley. But here's a fun fact.
What?
Dierks Bentley and Tinsley Mortimer were both born in 1975, which leads me to believe they were both in the same grade, which means they both went to the same school at the same time in the same grade. And I wonder if they knew each other.
I'm sure.
I would like to know if they ever hooked up.
I mean,
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So then she was a debutante and everyone was like really excited about that. And then she went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And then, but she moved to like transferred to Columbia. Mm-hmm. She was a nationally ranked tennis player at Columbia.
Yeah. And then she played a bunch of other sports as well.
Yeah. And she has her master's degree.
Wow.
In decorative arts from the Cooper Hewitt Design Museum. Now, I do have a question about this because I was not too sure on the museum part.
You got me. Sounds like a extension school of sorts.
It does. So then she worked at Vogue. She was an event planner. She had a clothing line in Japan. Did you know this?
Mm-mm.
Called Rissimi by Tinsley Mortimer.
Wow.
A whole clothing line. She was a Christian Dior ambassador and she created her own lip color. It was a lip gloss called Tinsley Pink. She had her own TV show on the CW called High Society. She wrote a novel called Southern Charm. Did you know that?
Wow.
I know. It was apparently about a girl whose first name was Minty, which I thought was funny, who like moves from South Carolina, and they say is the victim of a rumor.
She didn't exhaust any brain cells there.
Know.
I think you're leaving out a very important part, though. When she was younger, when she was at that school, didn't she meet her ex-husband there?
Well, she did, but really quickly, before we go into the husband of it all,
okay,
she started a home collection that sold at Bed Bath and Beyond called Home Collection, and it's literally like all the bed in a bags.
Wait, does she still have that company?
Yeah, and it's still sold at Bed Bath and Beyond, and it's just like beds, bed sheets and stuff.
You know who really needs to chime into this podcast is Miss Dorinda.
I know.
I mean, as Tinsley's number one hater, I don't think she's aware of what went on in her life, her successes, her financial endeavors, her degree.
I don't either.
She's academically and I mean, quite successful just on paper, I guess.
I agree. Okay. And like something that we were talking about that we loved about Tinsley was her just ability to fall in love so quickly. So quickly. Like she's just like kind of precious about it.
Yeah, it's precious and it's also alarming.
Yeah.
Because I think that her relationship, so she met Topper Mortimer when she was at that school in New Jersey, correct?
Lawrenceville. Yeah. They went to school together. So while she was not making out with Dierks Bentley, she was making out with Topper Mortimer.
With Tops. So I read that when she was in school there, she used to sit outside her window and watch him play baseball or rugby or cricket, one of those bougie sports. And
oh my God. She
used to like fantasize about him and they fell in love. And it was just this perfect love story because he came from affluent wealth because his
oil money.
Yeah, he came from that oil money. And so what a lot of people don't know is that Tinsley, when she was dating Topper, high school sweethearts, they get, I believe they graduate, they went and eloped and got married secretly, just the two of them, I'm assuming some witness. And then she had to tell her parents, and then he told his parents. His dad made him go to the Dominican Republic to get it annulled.
Yeah, they got it annulled.
And so then they come back, they're still together, but they're divorced. Then she goes to North Carolina. He goes to New York, I believe, to work in that company or to go to school. And then they meet back up in New York. They fall in love even more. They get married this time officially where like the parents and everyone are involved. It's just this perfect match made in heaven. And then I think the downfall of it is that Tin's got a taste of being a socialite.
Well, it seems like consensus was that's also what people thought was the downfall, because there were a couple like New Yorker articles and stuff about how like her getting that show, that high society show, was like the downfall of Tinsley. But yeah, like their relationship, Topper and Tins and Top, was kind of brutal.
They were extremely emotionally dependent on one another. They were both, from what I've read, they were both very much obsessed with one another. But I think there was also infidelity on both sides with them.
Yeah.
A handful of times. And I read, though, when she got the reality show through CW, she was really obsessed with fame, really wanted to put her life out there. And he just wasn't about the cameras. And so he took a back seat and she wanted to put everything out in front of the public eye, and he just wasn't having it. And I think that's slowly where their relationship started to break apart.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense if he's just trying to be more chill and she's like loving the fame.
I will say one of the biggest shockers of this entire research project is the fact that she cheated on him
with a fucking prince,
a German prince, and she left him.
And she left him like with his heart in his hands, sobbing in the rain. Like she destroyed him
emotionally, where his friends wanted to do an intervention because he was so heartbroken.
Oh my God. Like Tinsley's a fucking heartbreaker. And I guess this allegedly Little Tops went to Prince Cassie and was like, yo, dude, can you please just like move to the side to give me a chance to like keep my relationship with my wife? And the prince was like, no. I know.
I didn't expect that. I thought he broke up with her because I thought she got all crazy and psycho. And he was just like, no, I can't have this. I need some type of normalcy. But in reality, she broke his heart. It was like finding out that Sonia was only married to JP Morgan for 6 years.
Oh my God.
You know?
I mean, that was shocking.
But it changes your perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's in New York. She's living her life. She's socialite. She's on top of her game. She's working at Vogue.
Dating a prince.
She's on the cover of Vogue. She's at Fashion Week. And then things slowly start to go in a downward spiral, would you say?
I would, yeah.
So Tins decides to move to Florida, Palm Beach to be exact.
You guys stop doing that.
Palm Beach is a dark place for Lord and I. And
oh my God.
I don't know why anybody in their right mind would move there.
I don't either. I don't care if it's Palm or West Palm. What the fuck are you guys doing out there?
Nothing good happens in Palm Beach.
Nothing good happens in Palm Beach. Nothing.
Okay, so she's down in Florida. Tins is divorced. She's all about dating other socialites, other men with wealth. She's a social climber. She wants her billionaire. So she meets a man who I'm going to use a pseudonym.
Yeah, fuck him.
Because this guy's an absolute monster. We're going to call him, what should we call him, Lauren?
Let's call him Trash Man.
We'll call him Jeffrey. His name will be Jeffrey.
Okay.
So Tins is down searching for a heartthrob, and she meets the man we're going to call Jeffrey. Jeffrey's 10 years younger than Tinsley. And I think they meet like somewhere in like 2000, maybe like 11, 12.
Yeah, early.
So he's uber rich and has significant ties to Palm Beach. He comes from some crazy money.
Yeah, sugar money.
And
I mean, again, we're going to brag about these plantations. It's insane, but sugar money.
So they're hanging out, they're dating, but I read this amazing Page 6 article that said they did this deep dive into the downfall of Tinsley. And so multiple friends, when asked what her relationship was like with this Jeffrey man, friends described the relationship as unhealthy. And numerous people that were interviewed by Page 6 said the relationship was confined to after-hour hookups, and they'd have to avoid going out because they didn't want to be seen by his family, because this family did not approve of Tinsley because she was, wait for it, too old for him.
Whoa. They were age shaming Tinsley? Oh my God.
You guys, this is another moment when that was groundbreaking for me, because I don't know if you're on the same page as me, but I thought her arrest was related to Topper.
So did I. I was going to say that, but you didn't say that. So I was like, okay, maybe I was just like really being dumb.
No, I for sure thought her trespass was related to Topper. We'll get to that later on, but her relationship with Jeffrey was so beyond toxic that I don't think people understand, and how documented and public it is.
So documented and public, and honestly, we have to get into it because I am so angry at all of the people who are involved in writing and publishing any of the stories and the articles that we have read regarding Tinsley's arrest and relationship with Jeffrey.
Okay, so in 2000, so this alleged domestic, I'm not even going to say alleged because it is documented and there are police reports, that since 2013, there has been ongoing domestic violence since 2013, and their relationship went from 2013 to 2016. There had been one arrest, 4 police reports, and a written warning that were all received between the parties.
Only relating to Jeffrey and Tinsley. All of
Only-
that just relating to Jeffrey and Tinsley.
Just relating to Jeffrey and Tinsley. So Jeffrey has this palatial pad in Palm Beach that Tins just loves going to. I'm sure it's beautiful. And I'm sure, you know, it was, you know how it is in a relationship where a guy invites you over and, you know, it's sometimes you just have one place that you're going to in the early stages or of a relationship.
Yeah, like, right. 1,000%. Like you go to one person's house a lot and he probably had the best house because he's a lot richer than her.
Exactly. So when asked, a friend close to Tinsley said the relationship was a living hell for Tinsley. She continued to let Jeffrey back into her life, hoping he would change, and was fearful of the havoc his family might wreak should she go public with the claims of abuse. You guys, in 2013 on Christmas Day, Tins was hospitalized due to a possible battery. So according to the police reports, Tinsley had a laceration on the back of her head that was still bleeding when officers arrived. The left side of her face next to her eye was very swollen with yellow and green bruises, which are indicative of old bruises, as everybody knows. And she also had red and bruised markings on her forearms, biceps, and elbows. She received 3 staples to the back of her head. And according to Tinsley, she originally told officers she tripped and fell.
I mean, the fact that in that article that we read that we will link in the description, like they had photos of her eye and how fucked up her face was. And the fact that that didn't turn everybody's stomach over and go, what the hell is Jeffrey fucking doing to her?
Mm-hmm.
And then just to say, oh, I tripped and fell. Okay, first of all, that's the first excuse that you would hear out of someone trying to protect someone.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't look like that when you trip and fall.
No. And I mean, her demeanor with the police officers is obviously indicative of a person that's been physically abused, emotionally abused, that's trying to protect her abuser, who is just wanting and hoping for the one moment her abuser will change. But I hate to break it to you, more often than not, they don't, unless they're involved in heavy, frequent therapy to address their issues.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on next, the next DV is from New Year's Eve. So what?
5 days later?
5 days later, Jeffrey called the police to report an unwanted guest at his palatial pad. Cops arrived and found Tinsley locked in a bedroom at Jeffrey's home, declaring she was fearful of him and wanted him to be prosecuted. Cops said she appeared intoxicated and her speech was slurred. She was issued a warning trespass at that point. So that's where our one warning comes from. Mm-hmm. Nobody's arrested. And I would like to go back to the DV incident from 2013. There's no record indicating that Jeffrey was arrested.
No, right.
So in California, under California law, if there's a report of domestic violence, a police officer has to make an arrest. Oh. And so I don't know what the laws are in Florida. I don't know what the laws were like back then. Generally, it's to separate the parties, to get them away from one another, give somebody an opportunity to leave, make sure the victim is safe, you know, get an emergency protective order issued. And I really would love to see the police reports to see how it was handled, because, and obviously we're reading it from a story which has an objective and a purpose, but the continued abuse that's being alleged and the multiple
and
reports,
documented and put out in the media and that everyone's aware about.
But I will say, an officer, generally they'll give a Marcy's card when they respond to a domestic violence dispute, and they'll give that victim a Marcy card, which lists all of her rights. They'll give her contacts to domestic violence shelters. They'll ask for emergency protective orders. And a lot of time women say no. And it's not uncommon for women to not want to participate in prosecution. I would say out of the 100, say I had 500 DV cases, I probably only had 50 victims that wanted to cooperate, if that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the psychological impact. It's so deep and dark, and it's really difficult to understand. And I had no idea that this was Tinsley's story.
I didn't either. Like, I thought she literally was like being a little brat to Topper. I had no idea that she was in a completely different relationship years later with an abusive asshole, and she got 3 staples in the back of her head and went to the emergency room.
So a positive note
Yeah.
is on New Year's Day. So the following day,
Mhm.
Tinsley contacted the police, and she told the police that she was injured when she was trying to intervene in a fight between Jeffrey and his brother. And that's when Tins was struck in the face by Jeffrey's brother. Jeffrey decided to defend his brother, and the argument escalated to the point where he put his hands over her nose and mouth. Again, Tinsley said she did not want prosecution.
Okay, so this issue, or this day that she was talking about, was the same day that she had the police called with the bruised eye and the stitches to the back of the head.
Was it?
Yeah, she was calling them regarding that day and was
okay.
And was like, actually, I didn't trip and fall. What happened was these two got in a fight and I stepped in, and then he took his brother's side. Disgusting that to think that if she felt comfortable saying he put his hand over her nose and mouth, but we know that she had black eyes and staples to the back of her head. Like, I can't imagine what the true story is.
Well, all I can say is this is a very interesting quote from Tinsley's friends that said the downfall of her downfall was related to her move to Florida. One of her friends told Page Six that a problem with Palm Beach is that it's too much money. And if you don't have it, you're a nobody. And that's tricky for a pretty girl like Tins. Yeah. And let me tell you, Lauren and I know something about going to Palm Beach and not having money, because we went and got cocktails one night and we got our tab back, you guys. We ordered 3 cocktails between the 3 of us, and it was $99.
And we had to wait how long for them? Like 2 hours?
We had to get them to go because we were late to the airport.
That was so fucking crazy. God, I hate it there. I hate it there. Stop going there, you guys. It's horrible.
But I mean, we also had our downfall in Florida. It's like
we also did. I mean, it's
an Everglades pit.
Yeah, my God. So yeah, I just think it's crazy that like she went through all that and then was like, just to be clear and just to be absolutely clear, like, I don't want to press charges, but he did cover my nose and mouth. So do you think it was so that they would state would bring a claim, or no? What?
So the reason why I wanted to bring up that comment from the friend regarding the wealth is because the way that she changed her story, it was so fabricated that they concocted this plan of saying, hey, this is what happened. You're going to tell the police that my brother and I were fighting and he accidentally elbowed you in the face. And so there really is no intent to batter or to unlawfully harm or touch. It's
because of the way she even said, I intervened.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very methodical, thought out, and
victim
it's
blaming,
being coached, unfortunately. And it's obviously all of this is alleged, but there's a pattern to domestic violence and there's a pattern to excuses that start to happen. And I mean, as somebody who's read multiple police reports, even an average listener, you start to see through those fabricated stories and see the truth. And I hate to break it to you, but that's not even the worst.
No, that's just the fucking beginning.
So let's go to June 2014. Jeffrey again, there's a pattern here. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey again calls the cops regarding an unwanted guest. Mm-hmm. And you think that a palatial pad that Jeffrey lives in doesn't have a gate to get in?
In my mind, it's, hey, Tinsley, come over, babe. I love you. Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. Start a fight. Get out. No. 911. I have an unwanted guest. That's how I see it going.
Oh, absolutely. But this story of Jeffrey being like, she came over. I don't know how she's here. I didn't want her here. It's like,
yeah. If you're so rich, get a fucking security guard, asshole.
You mean 5'1" Tinsley climbed over your 80-foot tall ironclad fence? Give me a break.
Give me a break.
So anyways, Jeffrey again calls the cops regarding unwanted guests. Cops arrive and found him barefoot, Okay, wait, cut that.
Okay.
An unwanted guest, and cops arrived and found a barefoot, intoxicated, crying Tinsley next to her mom's Land Rover. Tins told the cops she arrived at his house after dinner. Ding, ding, ding. Mm-hmm. And they got into an argument. Jeffrey tried to smother her with a pillow. She fought back, ran outside, locked herself in her car. Jeffrey then chased her, keyed her car, ripped up the windshield wipers, and used them to break the windshield.
Oh my God.
Supposedly there's video of this incident, and when officers went into the bedroom to try to look at the evidence, they found blood on the pillowcases.
Oh my God.
So again, I'm absolutely shocked. Jeffrey, well, I'm not shocked by this, but Jeffrey was highly intoxicated and uncooperative. What I am shocked by is that there wasn't an arrest.
How?
That we're aware of. I don't know if he was arrested, but I feel like it would have been in the report. I feel like her friend, or in the article.
I don't know, but it's like they said, the money thing, and it's like this guy has a lot of it. So maybe no. I mean, they probably kick some money to the reporter or the police or whatever, and be like, we're not having this. Absolutely not. Like,
yeah. Well, and the hard thing with domestic violence, when it's just victim, suspect, and victim, it's he said, she said, or she said, she said, he said, but it's really, really, really difficult to prove if a victim doesn't want to cooperate with prosecution.
Yeah. I mean, but it's scary.
Yeah, and there's really nothing they can do if they don't have evidence. And I don't know what the Florida laws are like, but I'm just fascinated they didn't arrest him or even just take her away and separate them. But this is our last domestic violence related incident. So December 2014, police were dispatched to Jeffrey's house regarding the suspicious incident involving a male and a female. So cops arrived and found Jeffrey with scratches on his chest. The neighbor, I'm assuming, is the one that called 911 for a call for service, because he witnessed Jeffrey tackle Tinsley and push her head into the pavement.
I'm disgusted.
Tinsley was gone at that point, but she later was contacted by police and stated that she had scratched Jeffrey in self-defense, and it wasn't the first time he had attacked her, but she again said she didn't want prosecution. And I'm assuming the neighbor didn't want to participate in prosecution and was probably paid off by Jeffrey because he would not give a comment to the New York the Page 6.
I mean, talk about a neighbor you don't want to piss off. It's the one with the sugar money. This sounds so much cocaine. Feels like it's flowing through these people's veins like so hard.
I just had no idea, and I wonder if listeners feel the same way, that they didn't have an idea about this Tinsley story.
I know. I mean, this is heartbreaking. And we just go on being like, I've got a mugshot. And it's like, what? Like, we're lucky that you actually stayed alive to get the mugshot. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. And I don't know if she doesn't want to talk about it on camera because of the wealth that's connected to this, the alleged suspect's family, but it's really sad. And I'm kind of disappointed in the Bravo producers and editors for pushing this story, pushing that fake, like, bubbly New York socialite, like crying over her eggs being frozen kind of girl, where people were thinking that she's like this
dumb idiot,
desperate, dumb idiot who's just will do anything. When in reality, she's a woman that suffered, who has been the victim of physical and mental abuse
for years.
Yeah. And I just want to say, fuck you, Dorinda.
Fuck you, Dorinda.
Yeah, it's so upsetting. And I really hope, well, we need to get to the main story.
Really quickly, like going off what you said with the neighbors calling the police. I did read a quote where the neighbor said that when he brought it up to Jeffrey was just like, oh, I'm sorry you had to see that. To the neighbor.
Oh, I'm glad he apologized to the neighbor.
Right. And then I read a quote from from Jeffrey's family regarding Tinsley's.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah. And this is from his family. It says, it's all hearsay, and all Tinsley's black and blue stuff is what she's done to herself or what someone else has done to her. She hides in the bushes. She hides in her car. She puts cigarettes out on his face. Did anyone ever tell you that? This makes Fatal Attraction look like a cartoon. She's insane.
And we cannot speak as to Tinsley's actions because we haven't read any reports related to any physical abuse she engaged in. But when you are victimized over and over again, oftentimes you begin to defend yourself. And
she was hiding in her car from your family member who tried to smother her with a pillow. How about that?
So
it's just so crazy.
tell us about then when, fast forward, I think it's 2016, right? When she gets arrested.
Yeah. So April 2016, who called the police? Him?
I'm assuming an unwanted guest.
Yeah. So the police found Tinsley outside screaming and crying outside of the home of Jeffrey. And Jeffrey was inside the home with another woman.
Oh.
And she said that her purse was inside and that she just wanted to go in and get her purse. And he wouldn't let her. And then I don't know what happened in between.
Which leads me to believe it's probably another situation where he invited her over for dinner. She got drunk. I'm assuming he called this girl over
To make her jealous or
out
something.
of spite. And it was just this downward spiral. She freaks out. He locks her out of the house. And then I'm assuming he called the police. And then she was arrested because she had that verbal warning to stay away from the property. And if Jeffrey told the cops she's not welcome here, I did not invite her over, and that girl corroborated it,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably what happened. But I think the case was eventually dismissed.
Yeah, it was dismissed. They both settled for the deal that they'll dismiss the case as long as no communication shall be made indirectly or directly between Jeffrey and Tinsley, and that Tinsley will stay away from his house and his parents' house. Okay. And I hope he stays away from fucking her. Like, shit.
I'm just shocked that this monster exists and has not been publicly called out for what he's done to our Tins.
I know.
And the fact, oh gosh, I hate to bring him up.
Scott.
Like, the coupon king.
Ugh.
But
but you know what? He probably treated her really good.
I don't know though, because allegedly there was similar behavior. I don't know if it was to that extent, but I know that there was at least some alleged abuse, whether physical or verbal. Lord, I have sweat dripping down my.
Oh, you're like soaking wet.
It's like I took a Peloton class.
Well, I should do that.
But anyways, what is your final judgment when it comes to our Tins?
I mean, I just think it's insane that like I didn't know any of this, and I feel so bad for her, and I'm just like so proud of her for even like trying to come back onto the social scene, and that like by joining the cast and then getting fucking burned again by some asshole. It's like I need someone who's gonna let Tinsley like be the socialite and the mommy that she wants to be.
Oh, amen to that. I agree.
Yeah.
And you know what? I never thought I would say this, but I want Tinsley back next season.
Yeah.
I want her, and I want to bring Dorinda back too, so Tinsley can not shove this story in her face, but prove Dorinda wrong, that she is a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
Who has some financial independence. And I say some.
I say pretty huge, because she has that
that
comforter set thing. I mean, everybody orders from Bed Bath & Beyond.
I mean, we all did go to college, and we all probably bought one of those.
Yeah. I mean, I still get shit from there. I love that place.
Well, I need Tins to come back and grace our screens, and I need somebody to do her justice by posting or writing an article about her being a survivor of domestic violence. Does she want to relive that? I don't know, but she deserves to have her truth heard and not to be considered the victim of every single article. Because yes, we did find wonderful nuggets of truth in that page 6 article, but again, it was titled The Downfall of Tinsley.
Right. This guy literally took her down and destroyed her life. Like the rest of it was just like silly divorce stuff, and like, oh, now she's dating a prince, and just like over the top, like romance triangles. And then like that was so bad. That was so dark.
Well, maybe what we'll do is a poll on our Instagram to see how many people, before we release this episode, to see how many people think the trespass is related to Topper.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. Well, I am sweating.
Yeah, we have to go.
As though
in a sauna.
As though I just ran a 60-minute Peloton. Did I say run?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, the heat's getting to me. As though I rode a 60-minute Peloton. I'm dripping sweat. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize that was somewhat of a little darker episode.
It kind of was. And like, but unbeknownst to us and now beknownst to everybody.
Yeah, we thought we were like, when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, we were like, yes, Tinsley, yeah.
Something lighthearted.
Something lighthearted. It's going to be so fun.
Not.
No. So maybe next week we'll talk about Daniel Staub.
Yeah, something fun.
Because that trash box, I mean, wow.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see you guys next week. And also, I can't wait for high seas. If we ever let it out. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.